'cause it's late. Too late for me to be awake. Perhaps my way of thinking is confused or indirect. I've been accused of things I never thought to try. They tape my name in cellophane, the punctuation all remains. That explanation points up to sit dry. Now it's hard to understand me when I kick it, when I scream, but you're mistaken if you think it leaves me spent. After taking all my anger, my sorrow and suffering, you left my blissful covering to pay the rent. But can't argue all you want, you know it can't. Well, I'll be in ambiguous places where the tortoise loses the race, where the blankets cover the space heater. Every athlete throws every game. Rocket boys have feminine names. Pools of salt and buckets of shame to spare. That is if you really, truly need me. If ever I've fought a fight that failed in my wake, I'll be the first to claim mistakes and say I'm wrong. But lately I've been braving fates rarely undertake to reinstate the hate that keeps me hanging on. Now I know that you still love me when I kick it, when I scream, but you're mistaken if you think I love you back. After harboring my illness, after spreading my disease, it's such a pity I can't reason out the facts. I'm relaxed, gone. Take a pill, chill out, just relax, 'cause I'll be in ambiguous places where the tortoise loses the race, where the blankets cover the space heater. Every athlete throws every game. Rocket boys have feminine names. Pools of salt and buckets of shame to spare. If you need me, I'll be there. So won't treat me rough and inhumane. 'Cause what good is love when restrained? Oh, call me cold, call me unjust, call me just insane. But how could I have warned you that I could not conform to the love that you swore to obtain? Skittish, elusive, it's a fact. They hide their trails so well, it makes them hard to track. But look for signs that I should know. For I have heard at least 3 or so. But it doesn't mean they were never here. They just have this little tendency
Perfection. Absolute fucking perfection. As we have like multiple times I play Sarbo songs. Absolute perfections. I Sarbo. If you want to find out where these songs are from, they are on YouTube. Go and watch. Seriously, go and watch. Hey Kirti, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? The chat you can't see right now because I'm an idiot. Oh, where's this chat? Where's this chat? Chatterino? Why can't I see this chat? Yes, I added a filter, which I shouldn't have, but I should probably remove the chroma key. Yes. Now you can see the chat. Perfect. So we are online on YouTube again, which is something. I have gone back and forth. I feel so sad the protests are done. They were going to be done anyway. See, the thing is, even if the protests are done, doesn't mean our work is done. Our work is going to continue no matter what. The protest did not determine anything at this point. There's a lot to be said about the protests right now. They were decent while they lasted. Fine. They were okay. That is what I would tell you. The ending of it came in the best possible way at this point for a reactionary movement. But we know that people can be mobilized. I mean, yes. I have been screaming that from the start. True, I have never seen this level of organization in my life. I'm Gen Z. This is all new, so new to me. Yes. No, people can be mobilized. People can be mobilized. They always could be mobilized. Like, if you, like, I understand, like, both of you weren't here from the start, but one of the things I always have kept saying is that a lot of times our political parties, our leaders, our whoever, they do not give a call to action. One of the things why I always have a call to action, if you have watched previous videos, if you have watched this videos, I always have a call to action. That is one of the issues. I know, but we haven't seen this in a long time. What was Shaheen Bagh? What was CAA? It wasn't much different. This level was because it was pushed through Instagram. It directly affected the people. A lot of times, left-wing politics does not address the people. Hey, Makke, how are you doing? That is the problem. Like, why do I say left is dead? Or why do I have so many issues with the left while being a leftist? Is because this is something that came out as through the fact that app itself, like the entire app machinery, focused on Instagram before. Like, one of the things I have said consistently about app, they have influencers in their pocket. They have influencers who will support them. They have this entire machinery, like what BJP built with WhatsApp University, app used to have like a Instagram University, let's just say. And also Twitter and some of YouTube. So that was used for this from the very beginning. Did you see those initial videos where there was this guy coming in and the guy coming in ordering food while being on video, and the guy who comes in to deliver food is giving him a sticker of like CJP? That kind of a shit. That was app. Like, this whole thing wasn't. This was like, good or bad, whatever my views are on app, this was an excellence in how to propagandize an issue. Yeah, it was terrible, but it works. It works. The cringe works. And we as leftists need to understand that. Like, a lot of times leftists only focus on the ground. Like, even right now, we were just talking like, oh, we know people can be mobilized. It's been a long time, yada, yada, yada. I appreciate where you're coming from. But when we talk about mobilization, we forget about one thing. We forget about the fact that we need to get the message to people to mobilize. Like, it's like a lot of times leftists think that they are throwing up birthday party and don't invite anyone, and people are just supposed to show up. That is not how you don't run the protest like that. For a month before the CJP actually went on the ground, they were talking about like, okay, we are the CJP, we are this, we are that, we are going to do it. There was a huge amount of propaganda helped by Aam Aadmi Party to push it. There is a reason why it worked. Yo, Inqilab, how are you doing? There's a reason why this worked. You have to understand why this worked, why the mobilization worked, because people knew this was happening. If you go to a school right now, why did I not get a notification? Bro, shit, bro, I'm here now. But as long as you're here. I don't know why you didn't get a notification. I didn't do anything differently. But we have Pralab Joshi istifa though. Yeah, that needs to happen because that fucker is full on RSS Sanghi BJP. Worse than Dharmendra Pradhan, unironically. The point I'm trying to make here is that a lot of leftists think that when it comes to protesting, when it comes to organization, mobilization, things happen naturally, which they don't. Their means of propagating these ideas are limited. Their means of just talking about the issues are limited. The conversation is way too complicated and way too convoluted. People just don't understand what you're talking about. You can just go through like the Instagram pages of, or even Twitter pages of CJP, not CJP, CPI, CPIM, whatever. They write essays that don't get traction. They write shorts. They need to be more approachable. When I was in school, I had an option to join the ABVP. When I was in school, I had an option to join the RSS. And it was all of this easily accessible. When I was in college, the same. You know what I didn't have? A way to join the SFI. Because I am hell not joining the ABVP. My college did not have an SFI outlet that I could join. They had ABVP, not SFI. And I'm not from a college that was like, oh, it is just like a very small college. No one like really looks at it. That is not the kind. And even if it was, or even if it may have been, it shouldn't really matter. You should have an SFI or a AISF, like what do you say? Hiring location over there. Yeah, exactly. Zero left is organizing. Yeah, exactly. That is the problem. That's why when the time came, the centrist organization got a lot more focus. They have started to do this in Kerala, but Kerala, it really doesn't matter. Kerala is already leftist. You need this in Maharashtra, for example, where I'm from. You need this in Madhya Pradesh. You need this in UP. All we have in Central and North India are ABVP or RSS or even Bajrang Dal. Even Bajrang Dal. We do not have SFI. The best you got is in Mumbai. Mumbai has them all, but Mumbai is not the entirety of the country. You have SFI in JNU, you have them in Delhi. You can find them in Delhi quite easily. But for everyone who's not in Delhi, what do they have? So when you talk about like something like, oh, CJP here, this and that. CJP, lol, my college was SFI stronghold. I wish mine was. But when you talk about like the CJP was accessible. Like people do not appreciate this fact that the only reason it kind of worked because it was accessible. Because it was jumping off the already created Instagram university, let's just say, of app. Every single app functionary, every single app influencer was pushing it. Arpit Sharma, what more is there? I know one. Kind of Megnerd, because he kind of does that side anyway. They were all pushing it. Why do you think they were pushing it? It's like everyone got activated out of nowhere. Like Deepke was having these conversations with multiple YouTubers on Instagram, on whatever. The reason why Meghnad first distanced himself, to be fair, bro. Yeah, I mean, yeah, not a huge one, but yeah, that is true. That is true. He did distance himself. It's time to protest the vote chori next. If the government solves the examination, will this improve our life? What will improve your life is not letting this idea that you can change the government die down. Irrespective of what you go out to protest against next, you still have to be willing to change the government. Because he's running for independence, shitting on party system. Sure. Sure, I agree. Anti-defection law, like he's battling the anti-defection law in his own way, to be fair. The thing that I keep yapping about, he's fighting it on his own, whether he realizes it or not, which is a very good thing. And something that is, even I would support. Like, it doesn't matter. Hold on. Like, something you have to be cognizant about. Like, okay, he's still fighting the anti-defection law, and I still appreciate what he's doing, even though I do not appreciate the direction he's doing it in. Anyway, I don't really have hate for him. Yeah, not me, not so. What do you mean? Yeah, me, not so much. I don't understand that. I'm just trying to be neutral here, mostly because, again, usko choro CJP wala bolo. Yeah. No, getting back to it. So what happens with leftists in India is leftists don't do the propaganda. They need to do the propaganda. They get sidelined, which is why I was so happy right now. Like on Discord especially. Also, you can join the Discord. For people on YouTube, you can join the Discord if you want. When you talk about, I hope protest becomes so normal in this country that people just go out to protest on weekends. Yes, that's the idea. No. That is literally our goal. At the very least, this is my goal. Whether you want to partake in it or not, that is my goal, to achieve that level of political awareness. I have said this multiple times. That is my goal that is my goal at the end of the day for political awareness. Anyway, having said that, with respect to the CJP, leftists need that propaganda machine. Like, there is like 2 or 3 people that do actual leftist propaganda. There is hundreds more that do right wing, and the rest of them, thousands, do centrist. Like, I can scroll down through Instagram, YouTube. Most of them are centrist. Then that capitulate, I don't know if that's a right word. Let me just check. That capitulate to the right wing on most talking points because it gives them more clicks. Then there is right-wing propaganda that is going to increase. This is also something I need to remind you guys, because BJP has wisened up with respect to Instagram. So there's going to be a huge outpouring of BJP money. People don't realize how bad it can get. I have been warning people today all day, and at that point, and even then, people are just not realizing how bad it can get. People are like, no, it needs to have like natural viability, like natural propagation. Like, people need to do it naturally. Like, oh my God, like, was Twitter under BJP very natural? Like, come on. Like, be serious. Like, seriously, be serious. What was the fucking word that they were using? Hold on. Where is this? Okay, man, I need to check in my mentions. Yeah, like organic validity. Like, do you realize there is nothing organic on Instagram? BJ are gonna be working over them? No, they already are. Like, everyone is activated, everyone is making videos, everyone is making like reels. I got a bunch of people in my Instagram feed, people who I know, like used to know at least from school. They are posting videos of the narrative like, okay, we have to keep people away from protests like the CJP because everyone was giving bad words. Like, we are Sanskari people, we don't give bad words. So at least when my children grow up, I'm going to tell them if a protest is using bad words, don't go. Yeah, exactly. Sanskari as people. That is the narrative. I saw shit like this too. Yeah, that is the narrative they're spreading now. That is the narrative that is happening. Sanskariya, exactly. Prudes. It's not just prudes, it's like Sanatani bullshit. This is their new narrative. Because, see, right now, what has happened is because of whatever Saurav Das has said, because of whatever Sonam Wangchuk has said, because of Angmo what has said, BJP is kind of scot-free. BJP has come out of this scot-free. You cannot tell me that BJP looks bad. People on ground are making this argument that BJP is bad. The leadership has given them a clean chit. Dharmendra Pradhan is gone. They have promised to give 1 crore to people. And they're like, no, we are going to not file the FIRs. And now, like, Jaipur Dialogue is also going to court. Like, how can you not file the FIRs? There's a whole bullshit that is going on. Like, do you really think Jaipur Dialogue is doing this without... Don't support this protest, just nuance. What? I saw someone says, this is just way to divide us. Don't support this protest. That's no nuance to this. Yeah, no, there's a lot of bullshit. The point here I'm trying to make here is because the CJP people, literally CJP people, have given a clean chit to the government. All of them. I am sorry to say that has happened. So, like, it's a reactionary movement anyway. I don't really think it was going to go much. So right now, the idea here is that let the fire not die, because everyone is trying, like especially the CJP is trying to make sure the fire dies out. They have already said, like, anyone out there still is not part of the CJP. Anyone who was, they said, like, until yesterday, everyone who's not at Jantar Mantar is not part of the CJP, which means, like, do their FIRs get cancelled? If they were FIRs had come out from outside this Jantar Mantar, does the thing that they have settled on, does it include people not at Jantar Mantar? Because it should, but I don't know. They want to kill the movement. So, yeah, they absolutely want to kill the movement. There have been, we'll get to it when it, like, with respect to AAP as well, because AAP has tried to infiltrate the movement as well, but just people didn't let them. Like, literally, remember I was saying last time, like, oh, something is going to happen to Deep K, something happens to Sonam, and AAP comes in to lead. That is literally what happened, just people didn't let them, because most of the protests, the leaders weren't there. So what is happening right now is they're trying to infiltrate, but because Punjab is a very big issue, because Punjab had these leaks as well. Because just as leaks were happening in Delhi, Maharashtra, everywhere, Punjab had these leaks as well. So now the people are questioning AAP for Punjab and not letting them take center stage, which is a good thing. Like, people should be held to a higher standard. So that is one thing. Jesus fucking Christ. I even forgot what we're talking about. So we have to just keep the movement going. Seriously, keep the movement going. If what people say that this protest was bigger than the CJP, then we have to act like it. Now, right now, everyone is doing their best to douse the fire. Everyone is doing their best to keep people suppressed. And sadly, it is coming from the leadership. One of the things that we have been warning about from the very beginning is coming to pass. I've never been hopeful and locked in my life more than these 6 days. I am happy for you. I am happy for you. Please be this hopeful. See, this is the thing I keep talking about, being hopeful, right? You have been here before. Thus, this hope was already there. Just because the left doesn't have the propaganda machine to actually follow through. Just because the left can't convince people, that doesn't mean people don't want the change. And this should not end with just the CJP. This should not end with just the CJP, and it won't. It is not going to. This will get locked up again somewhere in the minds of the people waiting for the next Deepke, waiting for the next CJP. And for that to unlock and for a more thorough protest to happen, we as the community need to get better. We as the community need to get better at propagating ourselves to be the replacement if this dies down, to fill in the void, because at this point of time, every single political party is out there to cannibalize. Every single political party is out there to cannibalize. And this includes the Congress. This doesn't exclude them. They have been, like, Congress has been harassing protesters in Telangana themselves. Don't tell me like, oh, it is just like, no, Congress is on this side, Congress. No, it is not. Everything, like all of these liberal fucking idiots are the same. The left needs to do better. And that is the one thing I will always focus on. The left needs to do better. No matter the shit show with Das. Yeah, they did Ravana Reddy. Yeah, is horrible. Yeah, absolutely. The reason why left needs to do better is so we can avoid this liberal as fucking people being in politics. Like, I don't even want them to be in politics. I want them to be like, oh, if you're not left, you're not getting elected, because that is only the way out. But that is not happening right now, because we need to get better at messaging. Throughout the CJP protest, the only time the left student groups, like the AISA, AISF, NEHA, for example, the leadership, or SFI were given prominent, was in front of Raga. Like when it comes to the CJP never gave them a berth to even talk or be on the stage next to Deepke. They were there as models, just to be there. Look, like ISA is with us or SFI is with us. Never given the time for speeches in the limelight. Not that they should even have asked for, they should have just taken it, in my opinion. There's a lot to be desired when it comes to what Raga did as well. But at least there was something. And that is not something I blame Deepke or Raga for. Acting possibility never happened under Congress. Yeah, he's acting like that. That is because the people who were alive during Congress's brutality are not the Gen Z. Gen Z came into being much later. Like, they don't know what was happening in Kashmir. They don't know what was happening in Arunachal Pradesh under Congress, and how much it has gotten worse under the BJP. Like, the Gen Z are never organizing against the Northeast or the North. There's going to be weird ideas coming in, like, oh no, this is part of India, 100%. All of these Muslims are invaders. That shit is going to happen. This is why we need to get better at messaging. We need to learn something from the CJP when it comes to messaging. We can't just have it. We can't just take this as like, oh my God, everyone is motivated. Everyone is going to go out. Everyone is going to talk. But we are just waiting for the Bhagat Singh, the next Bhagat Singh. Not that this guy was Bhagat Singh. That is honestly my outlook here. We need to be our own Bhagat Singhs. We can't wait. We can't wait for like a Kashmiri Deepke to show up, or with backing of like Kashmiri Party and their influence over Instagram to start a movement as a way to get true dissent. Yes, true dissent and dissent. Exactly. Like as a way to get Kashmiri Party back in power. That is like eventually fails, and we get a semi-positive outcome out of this. We got very lucky. The left got very lucky. The students got very lucky. You should realize that everything that happened because of luck. And I'm not talking like Dharmendra Pradhan's resignation. That is not what I'm talking about. I am specifically talking about the fact that no political party could take over the protest. Because from the start, the idea was never that this is just going to remain a students' protest. It was a way to gain power for certain political parties whose name starts with an A and ends with an up. And we got very lucky. Very lucky. If it had been taken over, you would have seen BJP 2.0. What is happening in Punjab is evidence of that. And while Dharmendra Pradhan's resignation, as we have said before, means shit, because currently, like, the other person is Pralhab, right? Pralhal or whatever, is the RSS bitch. We have to see where this goes. We have to see where this goes. Prahlad Joshi, yeah. Prahlad Joshi, Jesus Christ, this fucking puke-ass person. This is not a complete victory. This is not a Puritan victory. This is not even a victory that you can be happy about for more than a day. Let me be very honest with you. There is a kink in the armor for the BJP, but the CJP leadership is trying to make up for that. They're trying to fill it up right now. And we have to be wary of that. And I'm sorry if this hurts you. Like, okay, I understand. Like, Deepke, even though he wasn't at protest most of the time, Sonam Wangchuk, even if he's a BJP shill, Das was also missing during what was happening. And I'm just not even going to talk about Vijeta. You guys know what Vijeta did. Even in all of that bullshit, people still came together. People still were a protest. People still made a movement. And currently it's getting cannibalized. Currently, the movement is working against its own goals. Because the leadership is. Support the students, don't support the leaders. Because the leaders are betraying the movement. And Ranka is going to get into politics. And he's joining up. He was already part of up. Like, I saw a video of Ranka saying like, oh, look, I'm going to be part of, like, maybe I'll be part of politics. And oh my God, he's like, and the interview is like, oh, such a politician, like just fanning over him. And I'm just like, dude, he was already part of the BJP, like up. He was already part of up. How do you not realize that it is next level idiotic? I completely understand. Like, let's just watch this. Just watch this. Hold on, let me just. I'm going to go to info. Yeah.
First,
to me, the protests look very decentralized. It was after Sonam's kidnapping. It was after Sonam's kidnapping. It wasn't to go with. The way they just withdrew so quickly without even addressing about Mohammad Junaid. Yeah, I know, exactly. They didn't address it. They can't. They can't address it. The addressing of it would include the idea that this is not just this is not a protest about Hindu-Muslim. Like, it goes against that idea because they wanted it to be like, no, this is not Hindu-Muslim. We are not talking about how Muslims are treated, because that's the AAP way of doing politics in Delhi. They never talk about Muslims, by the way. They never do. That's why they can't really address it without falling into this like, oh, it is Hindu-Muslim. Yeah, that is happening. Oh shit, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that is one of the reasons. Like, why do you think this was always like, oh, this is not Hindu-Muslim? Like, Hindu-Muslim, we are not doing Hindu-Muslim politics here. We are not doing this politics. Like, that narratives are very close to what AAP was doing. The talking points are the same. Like, based on what I've gotten to know recently, is that Deepke himself was organizing CAA protest against the BJP in Maharashtra. He was, I think, the lead for it. He was the ex-handler. So true, being Islamabad is a woke whale. Yeah. Like, he was the handler for the X account for AAP during the CA NRC as well. Like he was there like during Shaheen Bagh as well. To the point where all of those tweets that AAP has released, like that are against wrestlers, sorry, not wrestlers, against the farmers or against people at Shaheen Bagh, were released by him. People don't realize that. He was the head of that ex Twitter account at that point of time before he left for the US. We have to realize that. So all of these talking points that he was talking about during the CJP protest were AAP points. 1-to-1, all of them. Because from the start, this was a way for AAP to gain more momentum. But when Wangchuk got kidnapped, again, as friend of ours said, this got really decentralized. Because everyone was pissed off. Like, how do you like kidnap someone directly? Because for centrists, no one is bigger than Sonam Wangchuk at this moment. As was fucking Anna Hazare, but that is another point. They all need a Bhagat Singh and they will rally behind something like this. The point is, when it got decentralized, the anger increased to not just be directed by Deep K. The anger increased to be direct, like the anger increased to the point where every single issue that was raised was looked at. Every single issue was looked at equally, which is a good thing, which is decentralization of dissent, which is what we want. That's why AAP couldn't come in and take over the leadership. That is the only reason why. That is the absolute only reason why. This was an AAP protest. This started as an AAP protest. This even started as anti-Congress. They're not even in power, but this started as anti-Congress. This kidnapping was the linchpin that actually made this protest work and made this protest to be a protest that would actually be more than just an AAP feeder cell. And I'm still not thinking in this scenario that even Sonam Wangchuk's kidnapping wasn't planned. Like there's this paper. Like, sorry, there is this, hold on. So they were hoping to take leadership after kidnap but couldn't. Yeah, exactly. That is exactly what happened. 1-to-1, that is exactly what happened. Let me just bring up something quickly. I'll just show you something very quick. Because there is a... Hold on. Where is the link? Where's the link? Where's the link? Sorry, I forgot to grab the link when I should have. There was a whistleblower. The reason why I keep saying no, Sonam Wangchuk was kidnapped as a ploy. Sonam Wangchuk was kidnapped. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce my size quickly. Yeah. And we'll watch this. Hold on, what is this? Everything worked out in the end. It's not the end. That is what I would tell you. It's not the end. The end is not going to be there. The end has not come in yet. We still have a long way to go. BJP intention over cockroach movement, but won't sack Pradhan. This was 3 days ago, by the way. So this actually talks about a meeting that happened with the BJP. A meeting that happened with the BJP in the... This talks about a meeting that happened in the BJP, and that meeting reveals that the turning point was twofold. One was the Congress stage dharna outside Prime Minister's residence. We need UTV chairman resignation as well. What is? YTU chairman, what? I don't know what that is. So where is this? Hold on. Yeah, I'm just going to talk about the two lapses here because that is what is relevant. The party failed in assessing that a protest would come to this. They did not anticipate the opposition, especially Congress, would state dharna in front of Prime Minister's residence. Information was received that party CMs and leaders from other states had gathered in Delhi, but their purpose coming could not be understood. That was the turning point. The Congress's plan actually shook up the entire government because you can't just go out and attack the LOP. That is international news. That is international news. And they did it anyway. That was the turning point here. The people coming after Sonam's kidnapping could have been handled on their own if Congress wasn't not involved, because that kind of was anticipated just by this article here. Shock they did that? Yeah, exactly. Because they were doing counter-narrative strategy against this. The reason why I still think Sonam Wangchuk's kidnapping was planned, Sonam Wangchuk's kidnapping was not normal, is that they knew this was going to happen. They knew that the change or the increase in anger will happen after Sonam Wangchuk's kidnapping. Sonam Wangchuk and the support he was receiving was going down. CJP was at their weakest on the 17th of July and the strongest on the 18th. That doesn't happen naturally. That does not happen naturally. Their crowds were thinning out. Nobody gave a fuck. And that's a problem. Also, yeah, neem ka patta kadwa hai. Yeah. No, I understand that is dope, but that is very Maharashtrian. That is something we have been saying from the very beginning. People, like, do you not know? Anyway, I should probably keep it this way and then switch. I need to, maybe I can just reduce this so we can read articles without me going small. Anyway, we have to talk about this. We have to talk about a bunch of different things.
Right at the very top are two newsmakers who have been an integral part of what's happened in the last month. Ashutosh Ranka is spokesperson CJP, and Neha Bora is President ISA. And Neha was the one who fasted for 23 days at the site. Good to see both of you there. I can see smiles on your face, or a hint of a smile on your face.
Neha has been there from the start, and this is the most visibility she's getting after she supported the Congress in this. Congress, unironically, was the only one who gave them the space, gave students the space. Even, I have said this before, I'll say this again. If you go back and look at Deepke talking about his hunger strike that lasted like 4 hours, when he was crying, he would only take the name of Sonam Wangchuk. He would never say Neha. Neha was on the strike much longer. But her name was not taken. Aisa's name was not taken. They were categorized as other supporters, other people in. That's not even intermittent fasting. Yeah, exactly. It is not even intermittent fasting. Like, he was crying over that, and it is stupid. Even right now, I do not generally believe that he's sick, by the way. The reason why I don't believe that is because when he actually posted his first pic, let me just quickly show you. The first time he posted his peak. Yeah, the typhoid thing. The typhoid thing. Like, look at this. I made sure to make a note of this. Like, okay, watch this. Seriously, read this. This, like, his pick here. Do you see the issue here? Do you see the issue? When you look at this, this is an open injection port. That is not like he would have died. If this was actually in his hand, he would have died. This is an entry to infections. This is an entry for air bubbles. No doctor in his right mind is keeping the injection port open. Just not happening, guys. Just not happening. So tell me again, this was, how can they be this? I know, but no one really talks about this now, do they? Because I have a message here, like someone messaged me here saying that no, it doesn't matter anymore. It's like, how does this sound? Like like I said this before, fucker was sidelining himself from the very fucking beginning. The reason why he was sidelining himself is so Aap can take over. He's still doing that. He's still doing that.
Neha.
When was this? This was 2 days ago or yesterday something. Like this is on 23rd. So 2 days ago. This was 2 days ago. He posted this at night. Look how sick I am. I'm charging up for the protest. Yeah, like, come on, be serious. Like, I am not a doctor, but when I go look this shit up, it's just horrendous. Conveniently arrested during the protest. He wasn't arrested. Like, that's the fucking thing. He wasn't arrested. They gave him a truck. The Das thing where he said he's been picked up by the police was a lie. He was not arrested. Like, Das literally lied. And like, okay, listen. That is not insane. That is what these, like, this is Aap. Dude, you have to realize, this is Aap technique. They did the same during ISC. Like, you say something and you give an update, like, no, update, he wasn't there. And because it's like, oh, the person has given an update, which means the information has changed, not that they have lied. They don't post corrections, they post updates. And the update is like, sorry, we lied. Like, okay, even think of it this way. When Das posted that Deepke was taken, he was supposed to be talking to Nadda. At that point, Deepke then has said, oh, they weren't even allowed their phones. Now, ignoring the fact that Nadda, like with the pictures with Nadda, you can clearly see their phones in their hands. How did he post that update? How did he post the initial? Where did he get the information that he was picked up? Because they were at Nadda's house. In all of this bullshit, no one really notices this. And that's what they depend upon. They have been lying to people from the very fucking beginning. Like, be fucking serious. This is not new. This is a way, like his typhoid, Sonams, whatever, is a way so that Aap can take over. The only issue is that people are not letting Aap come into focus. And that is the one thing that is keeping the protest still pure-ish.
I'm going to...
Like, okay, we have to be clear. Ranka has been part of Aap from the very beginning. He was like some head from Aap, some department head from Rajasthan. Hey Fahim, how are you doing?
I'm going to come to you first. I had Ashutosh on the show last night, but come to you first. What does this mean for you? Do you believe that this is what you had set out to do, or was Dharmendra Pradhan collateral damage to the larger crisis of the education system?
No,
okay, by the way, even in this picture that they are showing, round one talks, the phone is right there. The phone is also on charging. Deepke said the phone wasn't there, so he's literally holding it. Anyway, that is not the point. The point here is that, first of all, yeah, that is it's absolutely fucking hilarious. I know.
This is, I think, precisely what we had set out to do. In fact, we achieved more than what we had set out to do. We had set out to take Dharmendra Pradhan's resignation, and instead what we also achieved along with Dharmendra Pradhan's resignation was a young people, a young nation that has learned to fight its battles, that has learned to unlearn the kind of training that the BJP government has been inculcating.
That is 100% true. That is absolutely fucking true. That is true. People have learned to fight the BJP. The only thing is now, how is this going to be harnessed? Is it going to harness love, Neha? Absolutely, Aman. Why am I reading the chat? I shouldn't be. Sorry. The YouTube chat. I literally said I'm going to ignore it. She's absolutely correct. She's absolutely right. The only thing here is that how it's going to be harnessed, because the left needs to step up. The left really needs to step up.
In us for the past 12 years, overcoming all of that to stand together, to stand united in the face of extreme state repression, humidity, heat strokes, rain, everything, a 23 days hunger strike for 3 of us in ISA and 26 for Sonam Wangchuk, all of that, almost 50 days of sit-in, all of that for this one day, where not only did an extremely arrogant government's cabinet minister have to resign, but we also taught a nation how to speak up for itself, how to stand with one another and undo the politics of the divisive politics that we have been seeing so far under the BJP and the RSS in this country.
But can I ask you this? For 23 days, you were on a hunger strike. I was there. I met you when you were probably on day 20 or 21 of that strike. What kept you going? You're a young woman, a PhD student at JNU. What kept you going for 23 days in this heat and humidity? I collapsed, as you know, while I was covering your protest.
No, I hope you recovered, sir, and we wish you good health. What kept us going was the fact that every day that we were on hunger strike, not a single day passed where dozens and dozens of parents would not come to us. They would not come and apologize, saying that we voted for this government. We had an incorrect assessment of what the politics of this country must look like. And it is our fault that you have to sit here hungry in the middle of summer, in the middle of the monsoon season, right in the middle of a public place like Jantar Mantar. We apologize to you. That's what people told us. The parents of a student who committed suicide after the NEET paper leak, he came to us one night. He sat with us for 1.5 hours, 2 hours almost, and he kept crying and he kept crying. And there was only one thing he said to us. He said, "Thank you so much for keeping my son's name alive. It is important that my son does not become a number and people don't forget about him, because he was a live human being. He had dreams. He had a vacation plan that
Their assessment was, we hate Muslims. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Aman here. How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? Dude, you don't have to tell your name to everyone. You are still on live. Yeah. So, yeah, their assessment was they hate Muslims. That has always been their assessment. See, normies and centrists only care about an issue when it knocks on their door. There is literally a research paper on this. Liberals, centrists, and right-wingers care about issues when it's at their door, to varying distance from them. Like a right-winger will only care about issues that directly affect him or her. A centrist will care about issues when they affect the people around him or her. That is the issue when it comes to like basic empathy. I'm not going to go around like disparaging these people, but they should be disparaged. A
he
little
wanted
bit
to
at
go
least.
to after this NEET exam, but now he'll not be able to go anywhere. And all because I voted for the BJP. I would tell my entire family and my relatives to vote for the BJP, and now nothing in this world can bring back my son. This
I'll post it in a bit.
is what is fundamental to this movement. That earlier, people who would sit behind TV screens and watch protesters and hear anchors shouting and calling themselves anti-nationals, urban Naxal, Pakistanis, all of those people and their TV screens are silent. Those people stand with us shoulder to shoulder. They stood with us shoulder to shoulder, demanding Dharmendra Pradhan's resignation. This is what has changed in this country from this movement. And this everyday assurance that we got from dozens of parents and people who came to visit us every day of the hunger strike that is what kept us going, honestly. Otherwise, we would have collapsed too.
I want to ask you this, Ashutosh, that, Neha has explained what kept her going, the energies of parents, the emotions of parents more than anything else that kept them going. But did you think, really, I want an honest answer, when you met the ministers yesterday, met them 4 days ago, did you all think that that Dharmendra Pradhan would resign? Honest answer. And did you feel, or was there a moment?
I can tell you one thing. One of the only reasons Dharmendra Pradhan resigned was because of everyone joining the protest and it becoming more than the CJP. I don't know what he's going to say here. I have no idea what he's going to say here. I haven't watched this before. But I have to be very clear with you on this. This did not happen just because of the CJP leadership organizing this. This happened because also of Congress coming in as like a random event that no one thought of. It happened because the farmers were marching towards Delhi at that point. As Abigail Bliss, our mod, rightfully said, a pincer move. And that worked. Now, because the demand was a little bit too specific with respect to Dharmendra Pradhan, he has been replaced with an even more bigger Sanghi. And Ranka and all of like Das are like, no, it is perfectly fine. Oh, CJP protest is done. We were just targeting Pradhan.
When you thought not going to happen?
No, I think Rajdeep, more than what we felt about his resignation, what we definitely knew was that if the resignation doesn't happen.
Also, by the way, Aman, why is your name Janwar69? Like, come on, be serious.
This government doesn't know what's coming for them because we have been closely monitoring. Not
Like
just
what? Is that an animal reference? Like the movie Animal reference? Come on, be serious.
But like the broader agitation that's been going across the country. And there's just one single demand that we were, listening all across the country, which was Mr. Pradhan's resignation. So had the resignation not happened, I think this government would have just, lost control of the people of this country. So I think more than the resignation, what we really knew was the sentiment of the people, which was extremely, extremely against Mr. Pradhan.
But you see, there will be those, Ashutosh, who will say, look, you've got a ministerial resignation, a ministerial scalp. Very unheard of, almost certainly Narendra Modi's regime, both in Gujarat and here. But what next? I mean, was this cockroach Janata Party about an individual called Dharmendra Pradhan? You've been with the AAP. All of you have been, in a sense, ISA is anti-BJP. This was an anti-BJP movement which culminated today in the resignation of the minister. Is that all that it was all about? What about the education system in this country and its problems?
No, Rajdeep, number one, it's not anti-BJP movement. It's an anti...
That's where they lose. That's where they fucking lose. Because that is the point where they fucking lost. You can't have a directionless movement like this. Oh, it is just about accountability. Like, sure, it is about accountability. But name the people, shame the people who are in fucking power. How do you get accountability from a group of people without you naming them? Yes, it is an anti-BJP protest. Yes, it is an anti-capitalist protest. Because at the end of the day, this was about that. This wasn't about like, oh, we just want accountability from one minister. The minister is absolute bullshit in this argument. Like, the fuck is he has been replaced with someone who's far worse. He has been replaced with someone who's far worse. So what, you're going to have another mass protest across India over, okay, now we're doing it from Joshi and we are just targeting now Joshi. And now after Joshi is gone, through that, we are going to target the next one. While the BJP is completely secure in its fucking position because what? Because it is not an anti-BJP protest. This is not anti-Modi. This is not anti-bad governance of the state. Prime having saying this has nothing to do with NEET. This is anti-BJP propaganda and that's the point. Yeah, I know. this people saying this is and not anti-BJP are fucking idiots. Like, sure, like I can see a way where this is actually about like, oh, we need to get the centrists involved. So we are not going to be like, oh, no, this is not anti-BJP. This is for accountability. We focus on accountability. There is nothing more to it. And they are fucking up. I get that. I get that when it comes to narration, when it comes to like propaganda for your movement. I can understand where they're coming from. The issue is not just this. The issue is them sharing the stage with Nadda. The issue is Nadda breaking Sonam's fast. When you put that together, it becomes toxic. If this was individually said, I wouldn't be against this. I honestly wouldn't be against this. The reason why I wouldn't be against this is because this individually is still fair. Oh, this is about accountability. We keep everyone accountable, period. If BJP does good, fine. And by good, it not just with respect to like education. They're doing it in practice as well. Yeah, they're doing it in practice as well. Yeah, I know. They should like as just on speaking terms, this is decent. Also, if you want to say, oh, this is about accountability, you need to expand the narration here. You need to expand on like, oh, it is not just about accountability when it comes to education. Or it includes all accountability. Because if it just remains to education, it kind of just gets, Dharmendra got replaced by Joshi and like nothing really has changed. You got one resignation out of this. The FIR shit is also just balancing out because everyone is now going to be like, no, we are doing a court case that the FIR should stay. The people are not going to accept the 1 crore for people who have lost their children because again, they are going to be screamed like, no, this is about you getting money. This is not about your children. That's what that's what people are gonna say about them. So they are not gonna accept that either. So overall, the government gets off scot-free.
Anti-establishment, anti-government movement. It's a movement for the accountability in the system, which has gone missing in last few years in this country. If BJP happens to be in power, the question will definitely be against them. Number one. Number two, we have.
See, this again makes a lot of sense. When these motherfuckers are not doing anything in the background, where they are just saying this and not like having photo ops with BJP ministers, giving them a free pass. Like this, like similar thing happened with like the Epstein law in America. Similar thing happened over there as well, where they were like, no, this is about accountability and for anti-pedophile. Doesn't matter if it's Democrats or this is Republicans. But at the same time, Democrats that were signing the bill didn't really go to the Republicans to have a photo op. Happens to be in power, he says, yeah, I know.
Always maintained and we
see, again, his words are not problematic because like in the context and in a very limited fashion. Like they are not problematic. They're perfectly fine. I would say the same. The issue there is not his words. The issue is whatever is happening in the background. His words are perfectly okay for a movement like this because you don't really want to seem like, oh, you're targeting a single party. Like after the IAC, the India Against Corruption movement, the guy, he also said like, oh, this is not a movement against the Congress. This is a movement against corruption. But it was a movement against the Congress. And the guy completely ignored any form of corruption that the BJP itself was doing because they were paid by the BJP. So I agree with the sentiment here. What I do not agree what is happening in the background. Like Anna Hazare in the background wasn't like, oh, I'm going to break my fast only when Manmohan Singh comes here and feeds me. He didn't do that. He had more discipline. The problem is, Sonam Wangchuk has been a lifelong RSS member. His wife has been a lifelong RSS member. Aap has been a lifelong RSS member. I am not joking.
we do joke about this, let the first wicket fall, right? And then you will see where we'll go from here. We have already submitted a 5-pointer demand charter to the government. There has been agreement on having another round of discussion with the ministers a month later on the demand charter. Stay rest assured that this is not ended. This is just
Yeah, no, they are not the same. Yeah, I completely agree. They are the same. Yeah, sure. I agree. What is happening in Punjab? Blasphemy laws. VB Jairamji was accepted without kind of a discussion or like in public media. People don't even know. RPNs don't know. Like, I have spoken to RPNs that do not know that VB Jairamji scheme was accepted by the Punjab government. They do not know the blasphemy law was released by the Punjab government. The difference between BJP and AAP right now is that BJP does everything in public. BJP does it silently. They don't even let their people know about it. That is an issue.
just getting started. We will not stop till the education system of this country is fixed, and that's a promise.
No, so you're saying there will be more stirs, more agitations that will be launched, not just against an individual, but against reforming the system? Or will you now seek ministerial accountability in other fields, other ministers? Is that what you want to do?
No, I think the idea is not agitation. The idea is to bring back accountability in the system. The idea is to push structural reforms in the system, and whatever it takes, we'll do.
Whatever it takes, we'll do. But have you planned that out, or is this a movement which is still going to go, day to day, week to week, month to month?
No, it's not. The reason why it's not is because they already gave up. They already gave up.
I mean, a month ago, no one even had heard, or very few had heard of the Cockroach Janta Party. So is it all month to month now?
Rajdeep, I think the only thing we have planned for now is to go home and sleep, meet our families. It's been 2 months since we have been away from our families. We really want a break. All of us, the entire core team right.
Yeah, I mean, they are not going to continue this. They're really not going to continue this. It is just not happening. If this continues, it continues in the hands of ISA. It continues in the hands of a political party that will cannibalize it. This is not the farmers' movement. They don't have the political discipline or political ideology for this. Hell, they don't even have the ideological discipline.
Now is having one infection or fever, so we really want to rest. But rest assured, the cockroaches are just getting started.
The cockroaches are getting started. Neha, ISA is an outfit linked to a left movement. Was this a moment, Ashutosh says this was not an anti-BJP stir. But let's be honest, your politics are fiercely anti-BJP. The opposition has cottoned onto it.
I saw a reel about some students refusing to stop the protest. Yeah, no, there are people who are refusing to stop the protest. There are people who are, because they are not okay with any of this. The problem there is that they do not get the protection of or the direction of like what Ranka had. They do not get the, like when these CJP people in power, because it was supported by AAP. It was supported somewhat by the BJP through AAP. So now it's not, the police have gotten a free pass to do anything. Like what is happening in Mumbai, by the way. What is happening in Mumbai? Mumbai people are getting harassed because they are, the more farther you are from the center, the more harassed you get. That is the issue. Like no one is going to fight for them afterwards. They are not exempt from the FIRs. People who were outside Jantar Mantar are not exempt from the FIRs, if you ask me. So, like, the leadership has given up. The leadership has declared that immediately there are going to be no more protests. What happens at that point? Like what happened with Connaught Place protest. First day, Connaught Place, Deepke came back after hiding in the truck and he said, "We are coming back to JM." And they were like, the protests outside of Jantar Mantar are not CJP protest. So what now? So he abandoned everyone. Leadership has been a shit show. So if you like ideally you would not stop protesting in such a scenario because shit hasn't really changed. But your leaders have given up. Your leaders have chosen not to protect you. They have like, okay, we are BJP now. They're basically saying that. We are pro BJP, we are not going to do anything. And that's an issue.
Was this about creating a sort of anti-Modi, anti-BJP movement where Dharmendra Pradhan in a way became collateral damage, or he was the immediate target?
I wouldn't make the mistake of calling Dharmendra Pradhan.
Yes, Sarbo, Inqilab Zindabad. But sadly, that is what they're killing with this. Also, guys, go follow Sarbo. If you liked the songs that were playing in the beginning of this stream, you can find Sarbo's music on the YouTube channel Sarbo, SXARBO. Just, it is very easy to find. The name is very small. You can type 7 letters. No, that's 6 letters. You can type 6 letters in the YouTube search bar. You can also find Sarbo on Twitch. You can also find Sarbo on Instagram, but I don't have the Instagram handle on me, so I can't tell you. Sorry. But you can find them on YouTube and Twitch. If you do find them on Twitch, there are times where we do watch like Steven Universe, and it's the best thing ever. Oh, come on, please. There's a lot. Hey, Rohan, thank you for the subscription with Prime. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Quite literally, that means a lot. Like, Prime subscriptions help the most. Are you done with your paper? Absolutely not. Technically, yes, I'm currently writing my thesis. I am hoping to finish it before the 30th.
Collateral damage. He's very much at the center of the student suicides that have been taking place in this country. It is not for nothing. 13,000 students in this country take their own lives because of the education system over which he presided. It is
Yeah, but
him
there are
who
paper
has
leaks. If I may just stop you, Neha, there are paper leaks across the country, across states. Education is a concurrent subject. There are state governments which have also failed to stop up opposition parties. So is this a broader crisis? And therefore, did that crisis also become an opportunity to target the Modi government?
See, if the Modi government is in power, and it is the Modi government's education minister which is continuously and constantly failing the people of this country, then this agitation against this education minister who happens to be in the BJP is an agitation against the political party in power. Which
Look at Ranka's face. Oh my God. He's like, shit, no. Why are you saying that? No, please, no. Jesus fucking Christ. Long time viewer, first time sub. Keep up the good work. I hope this momentum leads to more foundational changes and can inculcate more class conscious. Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for being a long time viewer. Yeah, that is exactly what I mean when I'm talking about this. This should be, listen, at this point of time, this movement is like a river. We need the stones that direct this movement into something that has a far more class consciousness, that includes the issues of Kashmir, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur. Currently, what is happening is, because the AAP takeover was imminent at the start, one thing I was like very worried about, like absolutely horrendously worried about, people have pushed back at them. People have made like this protest decentralized enough that they pushed back against AAP, but that is still in play. Never forget, that is still in play. And that is something that we have to be worried about. That is why people like Ashutosh Ranka, who is an AAP functionary, Das, AAP functionary, Deep K, AAP functionary, will not go against the BJP because BJP are technically their allies. Which is why only a person like Neha Bora is saying, oh, this is an anti-BJP movement, and Ranka is just looking like he's fucking done with this narrative. Like, oh my god, how have they said this? Why are they saying this? That's the issue. That's the fucking issue.
Which is the BJP. It's as simple as that. If it were some other political party who was similarly found guilty of constantly perpetrating and nurturing the system of paper leak, then the agitation would have been against them. It's as simple as that. But as the party in power, you don't get to escape by calling your minister collateral damage. He's responsible. He had to resign because he was responsible. It was his fault that all of this had been happening. If he were so innocent, if it were the system, if it were a corrupt system which he was trying to fix, then, well, he would have taken moral accountability and resigned even before we had to spend 50 days on the streets, even before we had to sit 23 days on a hunger strike. So it's not so simple.
So, but Ashutosh says agitations will continue. Will you all carry on with the agitation? Will you now go back to JNU, to your degree, to your activist work within the university? Or are you now seeing an opportunity, what you've done in the last 50 days, you're going to try and scale up across the country? Are we going to see now mini agitations taking place in different parts of the country on different issues?
See, as a student organization, specifically a student organization of the left, our aim has always and will always be to make a change in the consciousness of the people of this country. And since we are a student organization, to make a change in the consciousness of the young people and students of this country. And this protest, this movement, brought out not only anger against Dharmendra Pradhan, but a deep-seated dissatisfaction and sense of betrayal that the young people have been feeling from the Modi government, at the hands of the Modi government for a very long time now. And this is not just limited to paper leaks. Of course, it is limited to the larger bulldozing of our education system. It is extended to the bringing in of the NEP, to agencies like the NTA. It is extended to the fact that this country is a country of unemployed people, where even if you have a degree, even if you complete your higher education, it is almost impossible for us to get a job. So this movement brought that out very strongly.
Right.
For people, for the young people of this country, and as a student organization who believes that the rot in this country and its democracy comes from the ideology of the BJP and the RSS. We are, of course, going to build up on this, build up on the momentum, build up on the sense of betrayal that the people feel today at the hands of the BJP.
It's interesting the way you're saying, because that's the sense I got, anger and anger.
I fucking love looking at the face of Ranka here. Ranka is just like, they are going to use this against me when I join the BJP.
Against a structural crisis, unemployment also being a big issue. But Ashutosh, the big question, will CJP become a political party? You've been associated with the AAP. Are you all now going to form a political party? There's a lot of buzz about that the CJP could now become a political party. Banana a political party, yes or no?
Rajdeep, we have too many dreams and aspirations for this country. There is so much we want to do, education being one of them, but accountability and broader reforms being the other. Fundamentally, the idea of how this platform was created and how this platform became big was to really create something where the youth can resonate with, and create a platform where youth can really voice their issues and have a platform where those issues are addressed. I think a long answer short, the answer to your question is we'll do whatever it takes for this platform to remain so.
So you're not ruling out the possibility of becoming a political party, am I correct? Or are you worried that the moment you do that, expectations will rise? You've seen what happened with Aam Aadmi Party, disillusionment can also set in then.
Rajdeep, the only thing I've learned in my short career in public life and politics is never say no.
Never.
Yeah, short career, very short career. Especially so short that he's worked for just one political party.
Say no. Okay. Ashutosh says he needs sleep. Neha, after having spent 23 days of a hunger strike, what do you want to do over the next few days? Are you going to just rest a bit?
I will switch off my phone, throw it in the commode, lock all doors of my room, and sleep and sleep and sleep.
But then what happens to all those Instagram reels? I mean, this was India's first Insta revolution. Who's going to put out all those Insta reels?
BJP.
I am sure, like we learned from this movement, we take turns. When one person rests, the other person takes over. Probably that,
Good night, Exo. Nice having you here.
probably that. That's what we'll do.
Okay, and the Insta Reels, Ashutosh, played a major role in all of this?
Absolutely, and I have been told by my team that there are so many good memes and reels out there which we probably didn't even get a chance to see. There's so much that was happening beyond Jantar Mantar. A lot of people have in fact said that the real protest was happening outside Jantar Mantar. There's a lot of reel to be seen. There's a lot of content to be watched, and I'm definitely going to spend next few days watching them out.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there.
Sorry.
You know, to have two young people who in different ways have brought a minister down, almost unthinkable even just a week ago. Well,
I'm sorry. The only person who actually did anything in here was Neha Bora. I'm not going to give Ranka any credit for this. You can argue Deepke did something, but mostly it was Neha Bora. I am partial. Yes, I'm partial. I'm fucking partial here. She did like 99.9% of the work, and Ranka came in at 0.1%, and now he's sitting next to her.
this is New India, and y'all are faces in a way of one part of New India. Neha and Ashutosh, good to have you here on the show on a day when the cockroaches have spoken out. Okay.
Across to
I
him.
would say
Saurav, namaste, this is
20%.
Anand here.
20% of what? Who did 20%? Ranka? No. Ranka didn't do shit. Like, come on, be serious. Like, why would you think Ranka did anything? Ranka was there to go with Das to Nadda's place and sit there with their phones and then claim they didn't have their phones. Ranka wasn't there for any of the hunger strike. Ranka wasn't there for anything. The leadership was absent most of the protest, especially when the protest came into the picture, that the protest was actually happening. Everyone was walking to Sansad. Everyone was getting beaten up. All of these people had disappeared. The only person who was still there was Neha Bora.
Let me go across also now.
And she was, and Aisa was the like part of this protest that was the most suppressed. Was told not to talk. I mean, not told not to talk, but was like publicly suppressed.
Now to Ashutosh Ranka, who in fact was one of the two representatives who engaged with the government today, leading to that eventual breakthrough. Ashutosh, first let me start by asking you, what happened in that room? Can you just give us a brief idea of how different today's meeting was from the last two engagements that you've had with Mr. Nadda and Mr. Jitendra Singh?
Let me just start, Padmaja, with just thanking the youth of this country, the way they have stood up, the way they have, in a lot of ways, reclaimed the country and reclaimed the democracy of this country. I'm
Now, that is an issue that I have with this as well. Like, the narrative is that the people have reclaimed the democracy of this country. But we have more laws. There is a Gunda bill that is there in West Bengal. There is a similar Gunda bill in UP. There is a similar one in Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, they are using AI to determine who is Indian and who's not. Like, they want to figure out, looking at our faces, that if you are Bangladeshi or not. Completely fucking not possible. We literally have the same genetics. This is not a return of democracy. This is a win in a battle. You haven't won the war. And that is an important distinction to note. They are acting like the war has been won, like the democracy has been restored. Vote chori is a thing that still happens, has happened. Political parties have broken up because of the BJP. And they are like, oh, this is like a revival of Indian democracy. I hope CPI-ML gets traction. I am so sorry. CPI-ML has absolutely no propaganda positioning here. They do nothing. If you ask a random leftist in India to name all of the political parties with the name communist in them, I am pretty sure CPI-ML is not going to be one of them because they don't talk. There is no one promoting them. And that is something that is important to do. First of all, like, leftist parties in India are extremely opaque. extremely opaque. I want all of them to not be so, like to be open, to be inviting. Outside of Delhi, outside of Kerala, outside of Mumbai, this one solitary two cities and one state, can people even join these political parties easily? Can you text them or email them or call them and get a response? I called the CPIM, CPIML, CPI political outposts in Mumbai, all of them. I have called all of them. You know what happens when you call them? The number you're dialing does not exist. Please check the number. That is what happens. Hey Kairos, how are you doing? Thank you for the raid. Thank you. Hi Raiders, how are you doing? My name is Neil. Papaksh. That is how you spell it, Papaksh. I talk about Indian politics. We're currently talking about the CJP movement, the Cockroach Janata Party movement that recently won. Papaksh, yeah. That recently won to get Dharmendra Pradhan resigned, but there are a lot of caveats to even talking about this movement, because this movement is a centrist lib movement, and a centrist lib movement like that now is conceding to the right, is conceding to the fascists on a lot of different aspects. They do not let even their own win stop themselves from conceding to the fucking fascists. And that is what we are talking about. We are also talking about the fact that Indian fucking leftists do not have the propaganda system, do not have a way to actually talk about them. Every single person who actually wants Indian leftists to win keeps dreaming of the day when they actually win. But because the political parties itself are extremely opaque, they get nowhere. I can tell you as much. In America, you can join the DSA. You can join the DSA no matter what state or city you are in. Even if it's not in your city, it is in your neighboring city. In India, excluding like 2 cities and a state, you cannot join Indian political parties on the left because they're fucking opaque. When you call them, the number doesn't connect. They tell you the number doesn't exist because it's an old phone number they have posted on their website. They never bothered to change. You text them on Instagram, you text them on Twitter, they never respond to you because it is opaque. You cannot get in touch with them. That is the basic problem of Indian leftists, Indian left political parties. Because yes, India doesn't have a two-party system. India has a multi-party system. But the issue with this multi-party system is that you cannot get in touch with those fucking parties. And that is a big-ass problem. You can't get involved in these protests if it's not from the centrists of India. Because the centrists of India are the only ones who actually have this like condition across their political fabric that you can actually approach them, you can talk to them, you can call them and be called back. The leftists do not, and it is not because they lack the monetary benefit. It is not because they lack the ability to do it. It is mostly because they are still stuck in 1930s India, where people just automatically join the protests and they do not need the reference to join the protest. They do not think that in India, you actually need an Instagram page. You actually need a working Twitter page. Hopefully, the protest that was organized around Instagram, that was organized around Twitter and organized around like social media gets them to wake the fuck up. At least I am trying to do that, trying to get in touch with them, but like you really can't. That's why I'm trying to get in touch with them through people who are already involved with them, because apparently that is the only way you can get involved with them. That is the fucking only way you can get involved with them. I am sorry, like you come here and I'm giving you shit about Indian left, but Indian left is in shit. And that is why a movement like the CJP that was pan-India, that organized people across India, and India is nearly as big as Europe, was a centrist movement, was a centrist liberal movement who's now conceding to the right.
So proud of all of them. They have fought a tough battle, and all of them deserve a huge round of applause. The meeting today was quite cordial. I think the resignation had already happened by the time we reached. The discussion was mostly centered around the remaining two demands, and very soon the agreement was reached.
Also, while you're at it, do follow. If you can, do subscribe. If you like the shit, if you use Amazon Prime, it would be absolutely free for you.
And then all of us just decided to do it all together, make sure that this ends in a cordial way, and we really appreciate the gesture from the government to
Hold on, I'm gonna get myself some water. Okay, 1 second.
accept the demands the way we wanted them, and a joint press conference which followed.
One of the demands that has been met is of the FIRs being withdrawn. Did the government specify whether all the FIRs, irrespective of who they are registered against, are going to be withdrawn, or only the peaceful student protesters? Because there are also serious criminal charges, including attempt to murder, rioting, that have been put on people who were seen on camera, identified by the Delhi police through their facial recognition feature.
No,
so is there any clarity on that?
I'm pretty sure we can differentiate between serious criminals and peaceful protesters. The CJP has been since day one advocating for an extremely peaceful protest, and that's exactly what we achieved in last 30.
The issue here is that they have already said that people protesting outside of Jantar Mantar, which is a secluded zone within Delhi, are not CJP protesters. So anyone who was part of the CJP protest but was outside Jantar Mantar, which is a single parcel of land in Delhi, are not part of the protest, may not be protected through the FIRs. Whether this includes people in Mumbai, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, and other places, we do not know. Hit the ground, there is a rejection not just of the priest-king but also the communalism from the youth. It's outside of CJP leadership at the moment. Yes, absolutely. But you have to remember at that point, you do not have the protections of the CJP. So if you hit the streets with ISA, hit the streets with SFI, hit the streets with the leftists, because they will protect you and they will do their best to protect you. Not like this bunch of fucking fools.
7 days.
Like just conceding to the fucking right the moment everything was looking a little bit positive.
The agreement, and I'm pretty sure the written agreement would be in place soon, but the agreement which has been reached is around withdrawal of FIRs against all the protesters and organizers, and no future FIRs on CJP organizers and protesters.
Tell me, at what point do you think that this change happened within the thinking of the government? You've been sitting there. This entire agitation has now carried on for close to a month. And yet it took 28 days for finally Dharmendra Pradhan to resign. What changed?
No, I think that's a question you probably should ask the government. But
what is your analysis?
That's exactly what we asked. That's exactly what we asked Mr. Nadda as well. That why did it take 30 days of students being on the streets of the event of the extent of 20th July for the government to respond? Probably the government should have reached out much earlier. We are all educated people. We are not seasoned protesters. All of us had been working professionally. We had nothing to do with politics or these issues. DK was studying in Boston. He would have probably started looking out for jobs after this. So what?
Well, okay, to be fair, he was looking out for jobs. He didn't get one. That is the difference. The momentum is here. They just cucked out. They are also talk of crackdown. The government will retaliate for the concessions made. Yeah, they are already retaliating against Muslims in India. Hey, Pirate Luffy. They're already retaliating against Indian Muslims. And they're only retaliating against Indian Muslims. No one else. The leadership has cucked out. People don't realize this. Like, people have not realized this at all.
Exactly made the government.
Guys, while you're at it, please go like the stream on YouTube. It is important that you do. We are live on YouTube as well. You can live and come back here. It is perfectly okay. You don't have to stay over there. In Bengal, thank you, they are using Gunda Act. Yes, they are absolutely using Gunda Act. They are using, that's why it was there. It was there to target Muslims. Jesus, I am like literally the only person here screaming about Gunda Act since the very fucking beginning. And it is for people who do not know, the Gunda Act is an act that the government has released unanimously after coming in power, the BJP government, where they can put you in jail for a year without a judicial review, without even anything. All they require is the government to decide if you are guilty. If they deem you guilty, you are in jail. If they deem you guilty, you are in jail as a rule. It's a very fascistic law. Yeah, Rowlatt's Act all over again. Exactly. It is exactly that. The issue is no one is talking about this, especially not the CJP. They are never going to talk about this. I am sorry. Because CJP at the end of the day, the leadership is Appian. Appians have their own law like this. And that law is the blasphemy law they pushed in Punjab. It was a law that was created by the BJP and the SAD, the fascist party. And these are the ones who pushed it and got it into power. According to that law, if there is any electronic evidence, and the electronic evidence you can always make, you are in jail for a year without a judicial review. The same shit. The same fucking shit. The same fucking shit.
Government respond after 30 days? That's a question we should ask. Nonetheless, once they responded, I think...
yeah, no lawyer access as well. Yeah, you don't get a lawyer, by the way. In the Gunda Act, your ability to get a lawyer is completely removed. By law, you don't get a lawyer. They just have to accuse you of it. Like, hey, we think this guy is an anti-national. This guy is someone who's going to cause issues, and they'll just put you in jail, period. For a year. And after the year, you get the lawyer. After the year in jail, you get to go to the judiciary. After the year in jail, you get all of these perks on this that the judiciary has offered you, apparently. Because an access to a lawyer, an access to a trial is not a right. It is just like cherry on the top. Because the government can do whatever the fuck they want. And the issue here is does this whole due process, what is that exactly? What the fuck is a due process? Due process starts after a year. Yeah, saw your recent YouTube video. Why would Sonam cooperate with a guy who kidnapped him? Sorry, I didn't understand. Sonam has been an RSS member from the very fucking beginning. He was in support of the BJP from the very fucking beginning. The person who introduced Sonam to Deep K was the LG of Ladakh, a BJP governor, lieutenant governor, who was also the lieutenant governor during AAP's reign on Delhi. Tell me again how this is not connected to the BJP through and through.
It took a couple of days for them to get in action, but yesterday and today they were quite prompt, and we are happy that a solution has been reached and our demands have been met.
Let me quote to you from Mr. Pradhan's resignation letter. He has said, पिछले 10 दिनों का घटनाक्रम देखकर मेरा मन दुखी है. ये मेरे लिए व्यक्तिगत प्रतिष्ठा का विषय नहीं है. जंतर मंतर.
She's reading from the letter that the minister has posted. I would translate it if it was important, but it is absolute bullshit.
और देश में जो स्थिति बनी है, इस स्थिति का राष्ट्र विरोधी ताकतें लाभ ना उठाएं, देश की एकता बनी रहे, भारत के एक भी विद्यार्थी का भविष्य कानूनी पेचीदगियों में ना उलझे, इसलिए मैंने अपना त्यागपत्र भेज दिया है. Essentially saying that there were people trying to take advantage of your movement, which is...
Oh, he is. He's not was. He is. He's a member of the RSS. Is a member of the RSS as also his wife.
Why, in interest of the country's unity and peace in general, he has given his resignation. What do you make of that?
I mean, I don't want to get into the nitty-gritties of it, but I hope he still doesn't want call us anti-nationals or viruses or Dahshatgard, which exactly was being called to us for quite some time. At the end of the day, I think justice has been served. Dharmendra Pradhan's resignation was not just CJP's demand, but demand of every single person in this country. Their own voters had been calling for his resignation. So, der aaye durust aaye wali cheez hai. We hope that whosoever comes next, and from what I'm watching, I think there has already been a decision on who's next. They are accountable, and the country will not see any more paper leaks.
Letter frames Dharmendra as sacrificing his position to stop anti-nationalists. No accountability? No, absolutely no accountability whatsoever. Like, this was this was never about accountability at the end of the day. Dharmendra Pradhan gets scot-free. His replacement is worse than him, unironically. And the CJP protest is done.
I think the distinction.
What's the win? What's the win? So you go back to, like, when you are winning, you need to get something from it. But you basically end up in, like, ground zero, where if there are no FIRs, if maybe there are no FIRs, we don't know if there are FIRs or no FIRs. Maybe there are no FIRs. And maybe the people get the money. So what exactly did you do throughout the protest? Yes, people have realized that they can protest against the government, and that is a big win. But that is in spite of the CJP, not because of it.
Being made over here, and I remember on the 22nd, Abhijit Dipke also said on record when that unfortunate incident happened in the inner circle of Connaught Place, where some RAF jawans were beaten up, about 6 people were injured there. He had said that there are some goons who have come in and we have no relation to them. Do you think that there were some people trying to take advantage, a crowd which was there on the periphery of Jantar Mantar who was engaging in hooliganism? Who do you think they are and what was the intent?
No, I think this protest has been going peacefully for last 30 days, but things started changing only in last few days when the movement got bigger and bigger and it spread across the country. And a lot of goons, a lot of vandals, especially from the right wing, started joining the protest. They started beating up protesters. They started inciting them. They started,
People are getting Deepke saying, what? Hold on. Saying he will go down in history. Yeah, sure. We will see. We will see. They said the same thing about Anna Hazare. Like, he'll probably go down in history books, but positive or negative is this there. Like, whether it's positive or negative, I can't really tell you. Like, government is gonna drop the FIRs, what cucks, just abandoning the youth? Absolutely. This is all happening in, like, they have given us our word that we are going to drop the FIRs. For people who do not know, an FIR is first information report. It is like registering a complaint with the police. I don't know. What is the American colloquial to an FIR? People understand that. Incident report or police report. Charge sheet. Yeah, they're going to drop the charge sheet. Like, they have given their word. They haven't really done it yet.
Creating ruckus in the movement in Jantar Mantar, outside Jantar Mantar. But at the end of the day, most of the protesters, majority of the protesters who came for the cause, who came for the movement, they were smart, educated people who are not seasoned protesters, who are not out there to create ruckus, but to peacefully call for Pradhan's resignation and peacefully support the movement. And that's why the movement remained extremely peaceful till now.
Do you think this anti-paper leak bill should now be debated and passed in Parliament?
Absolutely. This is not the end. This is in fact beginning of something much bigger. This country really needs to see much more structural reforms in the exam system, in the education system. We have already submitted a 5-point demand charter where we, in detail, lay out the reforms related to NTA.
While this is going on, let's just quickly talk about the anti-paper leak bill. Now, this is kind of stupid. You don't need a fucking bill for this. You need to understand why paper leaks happen. Not like, 10 years in jail or 10 crore in fines for when paper fucking leaks. Like, we have so many fucking bills that just do not work because people do not enforce them. What does this achieve? It's likely to bring an amendment bill in the parliament next week, increasing punishment for individuals involved in unfair means, including leaks of question papers of public exams, from 3 to 5 years. Again, this is an amendment. This is not exactly like the bill was never there. From 10 lakh to 50 lakh, Indian Express has learned. Who gives a fuck? Same type of bill was introduced in 2024, but the 20 leak mafia is freed. Now, yeah, I know. The Draft Public Examination Prevention of Unfair Means Amendment Act 2026, which was approved by Cabinet on Friday, circulated among MPs on Saturday, also increased the punishment for organized crime of unfair means of public examination, imprisonment of at least 5 years to at least 7 years, and the fine was least 1 crore to 10 crore. Draft bill also provided a special task force to investigate cases of unfair means. Jesus Christ. You know the easiest way to stop paper leaks is? The easiest way to stop paper leaks is have it an open book test. Give the paper out 1 day in advance. You can make questions in a way that no matter how you receive the question paper, it doesn't fucking matter. You still have to do the same amount of work. Just make it so. Make the exam in a way, and it is very possible, that ratta or rote learning does not work. And you have none of these issues. But no, that's not what you want to do. Now, is it? Stop exams. We need a complete overhaul of this ruthless inhuman. Yeah, exactly. But that's not what is going to happen. But they're going to do this kind of shit. Do open book exams happen somewhere? Yes, dude, every other place. Plus, exams in Europe, in America, aren't based on rote learning. They're based on how much you understand from the concept. It doesn't really matter if you get the exam paper 1 day in advance or 10 days in advance. You really can't write the paper in the exam hall without at least knowing what to write about. And those are better exams. Those are exams that actually produce people who are competent at their jobs. But all of these exams are just about rote learning. My parents said the government should ban NEET JEE, do selection basis on that. Sure, works. That works too. They're going to send cops to exam halls now. Yeah, and the exam hall cops are not going to let Muslims enter into the exam hall. Because again, cops are fucking sangis. Jesus fucking Christ, this fucking country. For people who do not know, a Sanghi is a right-wing Hindutva fascist. Like, yeah. Hindutva is the Hindu, I can't really explain Hindu now here. Hindu, like someone who follows the Hindu religion or Hinduism. A Hindutva person is someone who follows Hinduism, but in a very fascist way. Yes, Sanghi equal to Nazi, yes.
Lay out a students' rights charter. We talk about how vendors of who conduct these exams should be treated. So I think this is the beginning of something much bigger, and we really hope that the country grows bigger and better after this.
There are many within the Congress, or there are some political watchers who have looked at your organization and you with some suspicion.
तू मराठी आहेस का? युअर ॲक्सेस मी पुण्याचा आहे रे. लिटरली मी पुण्याचा आहे. पुण्यात वाढलोय, पुण्यात जन्मलोय, जन्म झालाय माझा. लेट मी जस्ट बी व्हेरी पुणेकर अबाउट इट. Like, dude, I can tell you the hospital I was born in. I probably shouldn't, but this is like my line for everyone who asks me that, like, which hospital I was born in Pune. Dude, you don't want to get into that fight with me. You don't want to get into that fight with me. I am sorry. That fight is not something you want to fight with me about. Not today. We'll see. Real leftist infighting, I swear, that is the real leftist infighting. You should literally be here during when, like, we literally did a taping of our newest podcast, Leftist Infighting. That is literally the name. And in that, I speak with another creator, Ayman, who is from Mumbai, and I am from Pune. So we are basically fighting. Like, it's the funniest shit ever. I'll post it on YouTube soon enough. Pune is better than Mumbai. I am Vidarbhian. Okay, listen, that being like a Vidarbhian saying this is not really helping the cause here. Please keep yourself out of this conversation. Like, when it comes to Punekar, Mumbaikar, and Nagpurkar, to quote, if you know Purandare. What? Yeah, I can. What do you need? Guys, give me a second. You can hear the Pune. No. Yes, you can hear the Pune. Anyway, give me a second, guys. Give me a quick second. I have to quickly go. I'll be back in a second, okay? Sorry, my partner asked me for help. I'm not going to ignore.
How the Congress started their Chhatro ki Goonj. They have been demanding Dharmendra Pradhan's resignation. It never happened. Then suddenly this apolitical outfit comes from nowhere, although some of you have got a political background, but nonetheless, largely apolitical. And suddenly the government capitulates. Now, conspiracy theorists are saying that are you the safety wall for this government? So instead of acceding to the Congress's demands, you suddenly came to sort of relieve the pressure. You know, when you have got the CT on a pressure cooker, people were allowed to let off steam at Jantar Mantar. Congress somehow was sidelined and you came to the government's rescue.
The safety valve just led to Dharmendra Pradhan's resignation. If that's exactly what you're asking, I don't want to get into the politics. I don't want to claim any victory or anything of that sort. Justice has been served. We started with one pointer agenda, which was Mr. Pradhan's resignation, and that's exactly what we have achieved in last few months.
Because also Rahul Gandhi today said that there should be an apology from the Prime Minister. The Home Minister should take responsibility for what happened on the 20th of July. Is that something that you also resonate with?
No, I think what happened on 20th of July was really, really unfortunate. The kind of brutality meted out at peaceful protesters was insane. People were dragged on the streets. They were beaten up. 12-year-old young girls were molested. Our own volunteers who were actually helping out the police, they were beaten up. So whatever happened on 20th was absolutely unacceptable, and we have always maintained. We are already launching a website. We'll document every single evidence of police brutality, and we'll make sure that every single policeman who crossed line, we will drag them into the courts.
All right. Finally, I want to ask you, and I'm told Saurav Das is also with you. So let me start with you first. What next for Ashutosh Ranka? Is it going to be full-time politics? Many people are already comparing this to the India Against Corruption movement. Of course, then it metamorphosed into a full-fledged political party. What happens to you?
He claims victory everywhere. That is fucking true. Ranka, when they asked him, like, okay, he's already part of politics. He works for fucking AAP. Like, what is this fucking question? Also, back to the Pune thing. Yeah, dude, Vidarbha, not really. Sorry. I'm sorry, I'm being very racist against Vidarbhians. I am very sorry. It's an ongoing joke because a lot of my closest friends were from Vidarbha. And the joke always was that they are from Vidarbha. I'm being very mean, but somehow the joke always worked. If you, sorry, not Purandare, by the way. If you hear Pula Deshpande, so Punekar, Mumbaikar, Nagpurkar was very formative for me. Like, if you listen to Pula, that one stand-up comedy bit, and it was a stand-up comedy bit, was very like, what do you say? What is a good word for it? Was very structural for me in understanding the relationship between Mumbaikars and Punekars and Nagpurkars, sub it for Vidarbha. I am being very mean and I am being jokey. So do not get me wrong. This is a joke. I know a lot of people take me very seriously because I don't always come off as I am capable of joking. I have heard that before where, like, I'm gonna name and shame here. Inkalab texts me like on DM, like, hey, I really like your streams because you are not joking around. I'm like, what? I'm like, seriously? Like, you don't find them hopeful? Like, the whole point of it was to be hopeful about stuff. Well, whatever. Like, my literal thesis over like starting all of this, like YouTube, Instagram, like Twitter, Twitch, whatever, is to be hopeful. And like then he was like, okay, correcting himself, like, okay, not like the Indian jokey people, like they make fun of everything and it's very annoying. I'm like, okay, fine, thank you. So if this doesn't come off that I'm joking about Vidarbha and Mumbai, please, it comes off, it is still jokes. Why is it so hard to realize, understand that? I don't get it. I'm trying my best. But like I talk about like rape, murders and CJP shit day in and day out. It's like, it's very hard to joke around it. Make comedy legal. I swear, make comedy fucking legal. But not the comedy that we have. We don't need like Raina style comedy. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, I think it depends of the topic. Pune is the Tel Aviv Maharat. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. It's the Tel Aviv Maharashtra. Abso-fucking-lutely. Nagpur ain't got shit on the racism, sexism, segregation that we have in Pune. Pune was like the spiritual birthplace of Sanghism. Like, come on. Godse was from Pune, if I'm not wrong. Like, hold on. Where was Godse from? Savarkar was from Pune. The present day... Baramati. Okay, Godse was from a district of he was from Baramati. Okay. Savarkar was from... Yeah, he's Nashik. Okay. Bhagur Chauta. Okay. No, but they still came to Pune to fuck up. So... What does Tel Aviv... Bro, like, come on. Be serious. You don't know what Tel Aviv is after all this time of us talking about shit. Be serious, man. Be serious. Like, इतकं पण नको degrade करू स्वतःला. Like, I understand, I joke about Vidarbha, but like, इतकं पण नको. Like, people from Vidarbha, please. I need you to get better. Seriously, please. Sorry, this is my Punekar coming out of me. Like, Punekars have this inherent ability to be prideful about every little factoid that they know.
The only next thing in my mind is to go home.
Really, I don't know. Dude, be fucking serious. Be fucking serious. Like, I understand you don't know, but come on, please. Don't say this out loud, that you don't know what Tel Aviv is. I'm being so Punekar right now, dude. Why did you come in and ask me if I was Maharashtrian? Punacha Maz, dude. Punacha Maz. That's what we call it. Folks here don't know. People genuinely don't know. Genocide, Palestine. People have been kept in the... Chote bhai, I am being very serious. Pirate Luffy has been here long enough. I've covered the issue as well multiple times. I have talked about this multiple times. He's on Discord. He's on Twitter. He has followed me there and I keep yapping about it. So I'm very surprised he doesn't know. I'm not like just saying like, oh, he's new here. No, he is my friend. He has been here before. We have been talking and chatting through this thing and through like Discord and all of that for a while now. Like at least 6-7 months. He's a creator himself. He is a creator himself.
Home and sleep, get
Listen, how do you know about the genocide and not know who's committing it?
some rest, meet my family. I've been away from home for last couple of months and I really want to just relax. Just reflect on all that has happened in last 2 months. I think it's overwhelming for all of us. It's a moment for pride. It's a moment to be really happy, to be relieved. And after that, we'll see how it goes.
No, and full-time politics, are you ruling it out?
Never say no to anything in India is what I feel.
Already speaking like a politician. Good. All right. Saurav.
He's a fucking politician. He's an Appian. Like, what the fuck is this glaze? I mean, it's NDTV. It's like BJP affiliated. No fucking wonder. But come on.
That's also I'm told is with you. Saurav, would you care to tell us what lies there in the future with you?
Saurav's already on a call. But
he's already on a call. Any political future?
You asked.
No, see, right now our focus is very clear that this movement has to go to the grassroots because there are 750, 800 political parties already. None of them are able to fulfill the wishes of the youth. And we want to take this movement to the grassroots so that be it any political party or political leader in power, they will be able to work for the youth and fulfill their demands. That's our agenda right now.
All right, thank you very much, because there was a piece of advice from Sanjay Jha where he said that the reason why you were effective is because you are not a political party, so you don't have to fear the ED and CBI. Maybe that's a much more peaceful way to exist. Saurabh Das, Ashutosh Ranka, thank you very much for having joined us.
See, now this is an absolutely excellent talking point. This is an absolutely excellent talking point. I make that talking point. But that talking point, while glazing the BJP, it means absolutely nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. Okay, we already actually saw this. Do you want to see Faye D'Souza? Do you want to talk about Faye D'Souza? How is she covering it? 10 hours ago, by the way, this was. Is there anything new on this matter? Like, oh, this is something I have to cover. This is something I have to cover.
देखिए हमारा
Let's do this. Yeah, we are doing this.
न्यू एजुकेशन मिनिस्टर जो है वो प्रहलाद जोशी जी को बना दिया गया है, क्या कहेंगे आप?
देखिए हमारा जो कंसर्न था जो
So this is about Prahlad Joshi, who was made the education minister, the new education minister. The issue here is Prahlad Joshi is a bigger fascist than Dharmendra Pradhan.
जो डिमांड था वो मीट हो गया है, सारे युवा से वो डिमांड रेजोनेट हुआ, इसलिए पूरे देश भर में ये आंदोलन चला. जो भी अगले एजुकेशन मिनिस्टर बनेंगे उनको पता है कि युवा देख रहा है, युवा जवाब भी मांगेगा जब टाइम आएगा. तो अच्छा काम करिए, युवाओं के हित में काम करिए, पेपर लीक रोकिए, एंड जो हमारे सजेशंस थे डिमांड चार्टर में 5 पॉइंट के, उनको इम्प्लीमेंट करिए. आपसे बहुत जल्दी हम मिलेंगे, जो भी नए एजुकेशन मिनिस्टर है. सरकार ने वादा किया है कि 1 महीने के अंदर हम लोग मिलेंगे, तो देखेंगे क्या होता है.
तो प्रहलाद जोशी के बारे में क्या कहेंगे, जैसे जो स्टेप उठाया गया गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से?
वो तो अब देखते हैं क्या होता है.
Yeah, dude. He keeps fucking glazing them like, oh my god. Let's do this. Let's talk about Faye D'Souza's coverage.
Dharmendra Pradhan, the education minister, has in fact resigned. He's uploaded his resignation on Twitter. It's addressed to the Prime Minister. He talks about how...
I should really get that thingy, that like clips on your thingy. I need to check how much that actually costs. Maybe I think I'm going to have to do the phone thing again for that thingy. We'll see. The reason why, like, we need to start doing more Instagram. Yeah, lapel mic. Yes, lapel mic. That I think I need to get that for Instagram, because the setup doesn't really work for recording Instagram videos. And Instagram is required because the BJP government is going like heavy on Instagram now. It's going to be an issue.
How he has, from day one, he taken responsibility for the NEET paper leak, and he said it's sad to see the events of the last 10 days. This is not a matter of individual prestige for me. Dharmendra Pradhan says on his resignation, and he resigns. He also says anti-national forces must not take advantage of the situation at Jantar Mantar and across the country. There are reactions coming in from across the country, but fundamentally it is a victory for the young people who stood their ground. The Cockroach Janata Party, when they started off, it seemed like they were asking for the impossible. It was not going to happen because this was not a government that was in the habit of, granting the demands of protests. It was after Sonam Wangchuk came in and lent a sort of legitimacy through his hunger fast that really things started to move. And when Sonam
Wangchuk himself came from the BJP. He himself came from the BJP. Never forget. Sonam Wangchuk did not come on his own. He was introduced to the movement by the BJP against themselves. You have to ask why.
Fundamentally, in my opinion, the government made 2 big miscalculations. One, actually forcing Sonam Wangchuk out of Jantar Mantar, moving him like that in front.
I am on the record, and I will keep saying this, that I do believe was a planned move, because the CJP movement was a means to reduce the tension among the public. They thought that because it's losing power, the CJP movement was losing its ground up until the 17th of July. Something had to be done. Literally, and I'm not even joking, 2 days ago, on Thursday, before Sonam Wangchuk was kidnapped on the Saturday, I released a video that they needed a martyr, identifying this very thing, that their movement was dying and they needed a martyr. Just to show it off a little bit more, I'll just show it off the... Hold on, where is this? This is our live. This is our page. This is the live. Yeah. Sonam Wangchuk's death will help the CJP. CJP needs him to die. This is the literal video here. Released 9 days ago. This was a Thursday. The reason why we released this is because it was identified that they needed something. 2 days later, Sonam Wangchuk gets kidnapped. 2 days later, Sonam Wangchuk gets kidnapped. It's all there. I still don't believe that his kidnapping was natural, because CJP was doing their fucking shit. They were dying. They were literally dying out. Seriously.
Front of everybody without his without his consent. And secondly, the massive lathi charge that was done on protesters on the 20th of July, on Monday. Post that, the pincer attack that came at the government from all sides, from the
I wish I had a teleprompter so I can read off like this how she's doing. Like I can't fucking make videos like this. I can't follow the fucking script. I have to talk to you. I'm a shitty YouTuber. I'm like a shitty video maker.
Opposition from the young people who refused to budge from Jantar Mantar, irrespective of all of the things, the lathi charge, the pellet guns. In the last 24 hours, their food and their water has been cut off. Their sanitation has been cut off. There are no clean toilets there. Food is not being allowed.
Hold on, was that me? Was that blinky blinky me, or was it her?
The lathi charge, the pellet guns. In the last 24 hours, their food and their water has been cut off.
Ah, yeah, that was.
Their sanitation has been cut off. There are no clean toilets there. Food is not being allowed. All transport has been stopped. Roads are closed. Shops are closed. There's a story in the Indian Express that the police was actually going through the garbage to find out which outlets of which restaurants were sending food, and then visiting those outlets to tell them to stop sending food. So a lot of stops were...
They were also targeting every single person who's Muslim and helping in the protest. I need kindly everyone involved in this centrist who's talking about this to actually focus on that point, because they still are targeting Muslims only.
Pulled, but nothing worked. The young people did not budge. And then the outpouring of support that came from the rest of the country, protests all over the country, clearly at this point, supporting the protesters in Jantar Mantar. The Gen Z protest, this is India's first Gen Z protest. It's a massive victory for this generation of protesters, and it's a massive victory for the democracy that they seem to have resuscitated. Also, if we look at the main few points as to why the government might have granted something like this that they would have otherwise maybe even 5 days ago thought was completely out of the question, was one, the protest became specifically about the Prime Minister. The slogans, the things that were being said on those posters, it started to become personal about the Prime Minister, and that would not have been something that would have gone down well. The Prime Minister himself stepping in after making statements, putting out videos repeatedly night after night, trying to bridge a gap with this generation that they seem to be a view in the government that they had lost touch with. There was also a story that came out yesterday that the cabinet met, and there was an advisory that was given to the cabinet that they should spend more time on Instagram and less on Twitter, because that's where the opinion is being formed, and the government was clearly in damage control. Then, of course, the fact that Parliament did not budge or move, and the opposition here very interestingly stood with the protesters. There was some question about whether Rahul Gandhi was pulling in the opposite direction, but in the last couple of days, he brought the pellet gun victim, he brought today the ones who had fasted, the young women.
As we have seen before, when we were reading the news article about the whistleblower from the BJP, that was the turning point. The turning point wasn't exactly the protest itself, which goes to show that the government was confident that they are going to pull down the protesters. Eventually, they'll give up, but they couldn't stop the LOP. LOP came in as out-of-the-box question.
And he pushed their ideas forward and he supported them. And so it became even more clear that these students and the CJP is not going to budge until they get...
They're going to be fucking calling me Congressy now. I'm going to have someone who watches this video later who's part of CJP or whatever. They're going to call me a fucking Congressy. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know. That sounds like fucking worse.
What they want, and everyone seems to be supporting that sit-in. But the real, I think, the pin that drove the hardest at this point and broke that camel's back was the international media. All over international media, and my team and I went through the BBC, the Associated Press, Washington Post, New York Times, Al Jazeera, the South China Morning Post. They were all calling this the largest challenge to Prime Minister Modi's government, and they were carrying visuals of police, beating young people. They were carrying visuals of, posters that were being held out. They were talking about how these were Gen Z protests in India. And we've seen Gen Z protests in other parts of our neighborhood, but never here. This would have not been an image that the government would have wanted broadcast across the world, especially when they wanted to show that India is a stable democracy in comparison to our, to our neighbors. So obviously, at some point through the course of last night, it was...
Yeah, they're going to call me Congressy. I'm already hearing this notion kind of. And this is what I've been saying, right? This is also what I've been fucking saying from the beginning. The government cares more for their outward image. Fascism, they're going to try and hide their fascism to the very end.
It was decided that Dharmendra Pradhan is going to have to be offered up at this point in order to end these protests. There didn't seem to be any other way to do it. People were not budging. There's some information I'm looking at on my Twitter account of some lathi charging, but there is a celebration mostly in Jantar Mantar from what we are looking at, and that pressure that built constantly. There was a story that was leaked to some mainstream channels. I think India Today carried it, NDTV carried it, that the government is not going to ask Pradhan to resign. But that story was not met well. So obviously they did a sort of a dipstick survey of the opinion and realized that that was not going to fly either. And after cutting off food, cutting off water, cutting off sanitation, the garbage has not been picked up from Jantar Mantar for several days. These young people did not budge. They knew what they wanted. They were willing to make a reel about it, and they were not going to give in. And they finally got the government to agree to what they wanted. There is a sense, though, after this, that this particular government in this particular term is different. It's a little more mortal, and it's possible that that damage can be done, because they seemed invincible before these protests started. Remember when they defeated...
Listen, they did not. I'm sorry. They really did not seem invincible. That is a thing that we did to ourselves. That was always one of the talking points we had on this channel, at least, that they are not... No fascist is ever invincible. We convince ourselves that they are. Remember what I keep saying to you guys? Remember what I keep screaming to you guys? The only reason the fascists win is not because of bad laws. It's not because of a corrupt government or a corrupt army. Fascists win because the people who can speak out loud do not. They thrive in our silence. They thrive in our hopelessness. That is the CJP movement, or even the students' protests, is a testament to this, line. Never fucking lose hope.
TMC in Bengal, and they came out of those elections completely victorious. And then after that, the TMC was, the MPs and the MLAs from TMC deserted their party to join the NDA. The same thing happened here in Maharashtra with the Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena. There was a sense of invincibility that seems to have now broken. And it's very possible.
I always got extra hope if anyone is in need. Abso-fucking-lutely. Same. Always extra hope. That's why it hurt so hard when Inqilab said, like, oh, Ayman coming in was more hopeful than you speaking yourself. Like, dude, that is literally the whole point I'm trying to make here. That's why I need to get better.
Possible, that from today onwards, this government is not going to be the same again. For now, this is where we are. Huge victory for Abhijit Dibke, who started this off as a joke and then stood by it and, left Boston.
Aap stood by it. Abhijit Dibke did not stand by it. Seriously, he was not even there most of the time.
Came back to India, sat in Jantar Mantar for all of these days. We understood from yesterday or from this morning that he has typhoid and he continues to be there, and they've managed to push through. He just made a statement saying there's no need to be afraid. This is a democracy. He has resigned. We have 2 more demands. We won't just go like this. He says the family of the children who have committed suicide, who have died by.
Thank you for the subscription, AF Green, AF250. I saw you. Were you there at Kairos' stream as well? So cool. Thanks for being here. Thank you for the subscription. Win sub. Absolutely. Have you checked the EU? What Bliss? Have you checked EU sees what? Pretty sure. Oh, entry-exit system. No, I mean, not yet. I have to check that. Sub for the hope. Thank you so much. That has been all of this. Like, that has been my goal here. Indians have lost a lot of hope when it comes to fighting fascism. Like, literally, everyone had lost hope. That's why even the channel was started on that thesis. That we need to keep hope. So thank you so much for helping out. Thank you so much for being here.
Suicide should receive the compensation of 1.
I will, Bliss, I'll text you about that later. I'm not really aware of what is happening, but like, is there something new happening with the entry-exit system? Because as far as I can check quickly, like, they do collect your fingerprints, biometrics, all of that. That is traditionally happening. There's not any much difference as far as I'm aware.
1 crore rupees, they should get it. 1 crore rupees compensation to those families. And the second, the police goons who acted as goons on the 20th, action must be taken.
I felt the same in the US until I found Twitch streamers like you and Kairos and Hasanabi. Oh, that is amazing. Thank you for finding us. Thank you for going out and doing the work. That sometimes it just takes for you to look for an alternative to what is happening in the world. That is all. That is all.
Against them. Remember, do not.
Hey, Kairos. Sir is going. SIR is going on in my town too. Yes, it's absolute shit. For people who do not know, SIR is a systematic revision of the electoral roll in India. They're basically removing everyone who's a Muslim. They're removing everyone who is not voting for the fascist party and removing them from the voter roll. Then they're using that exclusion to remove the citizenship of the people who have been removed. It has happened to multiple people. It is another issue. Again, CJP shit, whatever it may be, is very limited to liberal talking points. First time is it feels wonderful to be Indian. Just when hope seemed lost, they came. Progeny of the unholy between a judge and a joke. Okay. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I know that's what Arundhati Roy said. I know she was always in support, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Like, it is, I would more or less say the same thing, not maybe in such eloquent words, if I was giving a speech. But while we are talking about the nitty-gritties of things, we have to be aware. We can't just glaze when we are talking about something in detail. That's why I never go out and say, okay, we have we have to, like, I don't go out and say like 100% support for the CJP and leadership, 100% support for everything. We have to separate the student protesting, the decentralization of dissent, from the leadership, which is now conceding to the BJP, which is now conceding to fascists, because it started off as a centrist protest. Like, is what I'm saying, her article not supporting it as a point of elegance she has an absolute elegance with words. That is absolutely true. But it's a very delicate situation. While I want to still be like, oh, we still have hope, because again, this has been my thesis from the fucking beginning. We still also cannot go out glazing it. This is like glazing for Americans. This is like glazing the Democrats for doing the bare minimum. It's like glazing the Democrats for hope. What's that high? Yeah, I mean, that has been a thing. Like in American context, like the best way I can explain this is glazing Democrats for doing centrist politics and organizing around it, and then denying talking about everything else. Imagine if the anti-Trump protest, the No Kings protest, was only about Trump and did not address ICE, did not address Islamophobia, did not address anything else other than no Trump. That is the level. And this protest is not even about no Trump. This is about not even JD Vance. No Hexet, for example. They're only targeting one politician. And so that is something we have to actually look at. Like, we are going into far more analysis of this. I don't really like to use the word analysis in this. Because again, I kind of feel like I'm stealing Kairos's talking, the way he speaks. That's why I don't use analysis as much, because I don't want to step on his toes. Hope includes, but it is not limited to ECE globally, Gen Z, boomer extinction. Yeah.
Not mess with the cockroaches, end quote.
Having said that, like, we have to be more discerning of this, is all I'm saying. Like, be discerning. Be more understanding on what is actually going on ground, what is actually going on with the leadership and the difference between them.
So he is currently speaking at Jantar Mantar while I'm watching this, and it's very interesting. Just a clarification, for some people who don't seem to have understood this, when the NEET exam was cancelled because the papers had leaked, there were 20 young students who died by suicide out of the sheer shock of the fact that an exam that they had spent a year, maybe 2 years preparing for and then finished, they're going to have to do all over again. It is those families that the compensation is being demanded for right now, that Abhijit Ipke and company are asking for compensation for. Because I had a
They have said no to the compensation, by the way. The families are saying we don't want the compensation, so that demand is kind of dead on arrival.
A few people talk to me saying, no, but how can you prove and how can you compensate everybody who has lost a loved one to suicide? And that's not what that is. This is specifically about those, and there are record cases, and there's actually suicide notes that the police have got. So that is a specific demand in this case for those people who have not understood it. But this is a victory unlike any other that we have seen in India in a very, very long time. The last time we saw protests that got sharp reactions from government was in UPA 2. So
no, we had farmers' law protest. That was a win. People don't realize this. Go for 100 plus and he's fit, but okay. Farmers' law protest was a win. I do not know why every single person is so hell-bent on diminishing the farmers' protest. They lost 100 people during that protest. It was over a year. But be it Dipke, be it D'Souza, be it Ranka or Das, they have said there has not been a protest like this. for a very long time. And we're like, no. What was the CAA NRC protest? It was nearly as big, but it was a leftist protest.
As a journalist who has been chronicling this from day one, who has spent a lot of time basically fact checking the information that's coming in, and there's been a lot of fake news, there's been a lot of misleading information that has come in. My congratulations and my kudos to the young people who stood their ground for what it is they wanted and managed to get arguably one of the most strongest governments that we've seen in India. You got them to budge.
I mean, yeah, that is true. That is still true. That still remains to be true. So please be hopeful. Especially Indians need to be hopeful. India, for people who do not realize, is going through the same thing that Germany went through in the 1930s. India, slowly and steadily, is turning fascist. The only difference is that we have the means to communicate with people and get people to realize that fascism is not going to end well for anyone. CJP protest, the student process, is just a battle. We have to prepare for the war. We have to prepare to make this government fall, not just a minister, not just one solitary person who gets replaced by someone who is frankly worse. The person who replaced Pradhan is Prahlad Patil, and he's frankly worse. He's a more fascist person than Pradhan. We need to be better. On that note, I'm going to take my leave. We'll be back here tomorrow. I have hella fit pre-calc teacher in high school, and she died suddenly. Oh, okay. I have no idea what is going on with that. But I'm going to read out. Please by the way, I left the Discord, Papaksh. Why? Why did you leave the Discord? I don't understand. Raid Arun, sure. Why did you raid the Discord? Sorry, leave the Discord. Like, seriously, why did you leave the Discord? Is there something wrong? I don't understand. Talk to me later. What beef with Jade? Jesus fucking Christ. What the? Listen. Figure it out. What the fuck do you mean beef with Jade? There is no such thing. I fight with that woman more than you. Like, please stop being a... Figure it out. That is stupid. You know how much people fight on that Discord because it is a safe place? And it is like, disagreements happen. Doesn't mean you have to go nuclear over it. Jesus Christ. Figure it out. Like, not like, dude, please stop being 12. What? Hold on. I'll just address your question quickly. Dude. What were you? Text me on Discord. Text me on Discord. Whatever the issue may be, a knife fight down by the river will help everyone to move on. Exactly. Text me on Discord. We'll talk about this. I'm raiding out.